Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Boy, it's great to see you. Are you excited to be here? Do you love America? Do you believe that God has a plan for America? Do you believe that God's plan isn't finished for America? Do you believe that this is the year that we have the opportunity to stand up for the foundational principles this country was built on? Man, I do too, and I just know this is such a critical time. I can't tell you how happy I am to be with you here today. You know, I wanted to, if it's all right with you, I wanted to just preach to you for just a second. Is that okay? I've got my Bible right here. I don't know if you've gotten time to do your morning devotion yet, but if not, here we go. You know, I was just reading earlier today, 1 Kings chapter 21. I just think that this is a passage for our time. 1 Kings chapter 21, I bet you know this story. It says, now Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard in Jezreel. Do you know this story? Naboth had a vineyard in Jezreel beside the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. Do you know where this is going? And after this, Ahab said to Naboth, give me your vineyard. Give me your vineyard, that I may have it for a vegetable garden. And what did Naboth say? Naboth said to him, to Ahab, the Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance of my fathers. This is a passage for our time. We have the most radical left-wing agenda in the history of this country, the most radical left activists in the history of this country, and what they are doing is coming to us and saying, give me the inheritance of your fathers. Give over the Christian foundations of this country. Surrender the soul of this country. And our answer to them is, the Lord forbid that we would give you the inheritance of our fathers. We will not back down. We will fight for this country, and we will win. Everywhere you look, this country is in chaos, is it not? Look at our southern border. That border is wide open. Every sovereign country in the history of the world has had a border that is enforceable, that says who belongs to the country, who believes in the country, who loves the country, and who does not. But our border is wide open, and what's happening? People are pouring across it. Just yesterday morning in the state of Missouri, Missouri Highway Patrol arrested 5 illegal migrants who had kidnapped a young girl from the state of Indiana, taken her across state lines. It was 2 in the morning, 2:54 a.m., that a Missouri highway patrolman pulled over these 5 migrants and rescued that girl. And that is happening everywhere across this country. Yeah, thank them for that. They deserve our thanks. Drugs are pouring into my state. Every school in my state, you can go and buy illegal drugs. Where are they coming from? Across the southern border. Stabbings, murders, Lake and Riley. It's all too common. It's all too typical. And it is all because of Joe Biden and the radical left agenda. And listen, you and I both know why the border's open. The border is wide open because they want to tear down America. They want to change this country. That's what they're trying to do. Boy, and that's just the beginning of it. You talk about chaos. You talk about a radical agenda. You talk about them coming for our heritage. Look what they are doing with the abuse of our legal system. We've got the best legal system, the proudest system of law and order in the world, in the history of the world. And now, what are they doing? Did you see the news yesterday from the state of Texas, where the Department of Justice, our Department of Justice, funded with your taxpayer money, just indicted a Texas doctor who had the courage to stand up and say that a Texas so-called children's hospital was performing illegal gender sterilization surgeries. Did you see this? This brave whistleblower, he's a doctor, he found out that this hospital, in violation of state law, was performing sterilization surgeries on children. He brought this information to the public. He brought the truth forward, and the Biden Justice Department doesn't reward him. They don't thank him. They don't honor him. They indict him. They're going to try to put him into jail. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, if this is allowed to stand, the United States of America will not stand. This will be the end of our country. And I would just say this to the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, to the FBI Director, Christopher Wray, preserve all of your documents. Preserve all of your decision papers, because what has happened to this man is going to happen to you. We are coming for you. We're going to hold hearings. We're going to put you under oath. We're going to find out who did this. And we're going to turn it around. I tell you what, Republicans are going to take back the Senate come this fall. And when we do, there's going to be accountability. We will not allow this abuse to go forward any longer. Not any longer. And I just want to tell you, whether we're talking about the border or whether we're talking about what's going on with our children and our schools, and we could go on and on, behind all of it is a radical anti-faith agenda. Isn't that true? I mean, that's what really motivates all of this. This is the heritage that they are coming for, that the left is coming for. You think about what this administration has done. They have sent FBI SWAT teams to the homes of pro-life demonstrators. This isn't an accident. This isn't happenstance. This isn't just, oh, that's just how it happened to work out. No, ladies and gentlemen, that was a message. That was a message sent by this government. That is our government, funded with our money, our taxpayer money. It's a message sent by them to us for us to sit down and shut up or be ready to go to jail. They sent an FBI SWAT team to the home of this demonstrator, this good Christian man and his family. He had, I think, 7, 8 kids in Pennsylvania. You remember this story? It is in the early morning hours. The FBI arrives. You would have thought that this guy was Osama bin Laden. And while Joe Biden is allowing terrorists to run rampant overseas, while Joe Biden is allowing our missionaries to be killed in cold blood in Haiti, while Joe Biden is putting this country at greater risk than we have been in any of our lifetimes, he's sending SWAT teams to the homes of pro-life Christians. Because what? In his eyes, we're the threat. We're the threat. They go to this guy's home. They point the guns at the kids. The children are screaming. They're terrified. He pleads with them and says, please don't terrify my children. But you and I both know the dirty truth is they wanted to terrify them. That was the point. That was the point. They wanted us to get the message that we need to be silent, that we need to step back, that we need to let them have the heritage of our fathers. And that's why our message to them today is no how, no way, not now, not ever. We will not be intimidated. We will not step back. They've treated parents at school board meetings like terrorists. Who would have thought we'd see the day in America when if you go to a school board meeting and you stand up and say, I don't want my kid to have to wear a mask. I don't want my kid to be taught that the United States of America was founded in 1619. When in fact we know that this country was founded in freedom. This country was founded in liberty. This is not a country of oppressors. This is a country of liberators, and we are proud of that fact. We're proud of it. Who would have thought that we'd see the day in America that if you stand up for those truths, you get labeled by your government a terrorist, that the FBI activates its anti-terrorism division against you. And do you know what? I saw Merrick Garland sit right in front of me, right there, right in front of me in the United States Senate and lie to us. He said, oh, we didn't call parents terrorists. Oh, we had nothing to do with sending out the anti-terrorism division. We didn't do any of that. All a lie. They did all of it. They were behind all of it. And I tell you what else, craziness. I'll never forget, never. The opportunity I had recently, sitting in the United States Senate, we're having a hearing on women's rights, called by the Democrats. And I noticed the funny thing was, as I was sitting there in this hearing, the Democrats' star witness, extremely accomplished woman professor from, I think, the University of California at Berkeley. She's sitting there and she's talking about women's rights. And what I noticed was she would never say the word woman. Not once. I started counting, and I'm midway down the dais. Now, listen, I got to wait in the Senate. Senators love to talk. Have you noticed that? So I got to wait my turn, and I got like Ted Cruz in front of me. I'm like, come on, Ted. Wrap it up. Come on, Ted. So I'm waiting my turn, and I'm keeping a tally. What she said was, she kept using this phrase, persons with the capacity for pregnancy. No, I'm not making this up. Persons with a capacity for pregnancy. So I wrote that down on my pad, and I started keeping a tally how many times she said that. And underneath it, I wrote the word woman, and I started keeping a tally. And it finally got to my turn, and I looked at my pad, and she'd said woman 0 times. And she said persons with the capacity for pregnancy like 15 times. So I asked her. I said, Professor, very smart person. I said, Professor, I see that you keep using this phrase. And I read it, people with a capacity for pregnancy. Now, I said, just help me understand, By that, do you mean woman? She said to me, she drew herself up to her full professorial height, you know? You ever been in trouble at school? It took me back. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble now. She drew herself up, she leaned into her microphone, and she said, Senator Hawley, I'd just like to point out the transphobic nature of your questions. Watch the video. I said, really? Because I'm asking if women could get pregnant? That's now transphobic? And she said, let me ask you a question. I said, sure, go ahead. She said, do you believe that men can get pregnant? Now, for a second, I thought she was kidding. Then I realized she's totally serious. So I said, no, I don't. And she said, see, you're transphobic. And I wanted to say, see, you're insane. This is crazy. It's crazy. Come on. Come on. There are 2 genders, 2. Not 2,000, not 200. There are 2. And you know what? What I want my children to be taught, I've got 3 beautiful children at home. What I want them to know is the way that God made them is good. God made us male and female, and that's good. When he made us, he looked upon it and he called it good. There's nothing wrong with our kids. There's something wrong with them. It's a radical anti-faith agenda. And I just want to tell you this. We hear all the time that religion divides this country. The left says it constantly. Have you heard it? All the time. They're like, oh, religion, it's so divisive. Religion divides America. I'm here to tell you today, religion doesn't divide America. Religion unites America. We are a religious people. I'll tell you what divides America. What divides America is the left's attempt to destroy religion. That's what divides America. What is dividing America is their attempt to erase our heritage, to erase the foundation that this country has in, yes, the Bible. This is the greatest country in the history of the world because we are a country founded on the principles of the Bible. That is the truth. And most Americans know it. They know it to be true. They know it to be true. Who's dividing America is the radical left. And that's why I say to you, we don't need less Christian influence in our society. We don't need less Christian witness in our society. We need more in every part of government, in every part of society. You know what we ought to do? We ought to take the pride flag out of schools and put the Bible back in. You know what? You know what? We ought to take the trans flag down from all of our federal buildings, and over every federal building in America write the words, "In God we trust." In God we trust. Amen? It's our national motto. It's our national motto. Our national motto, in God we trust. You know, when President Eisenhower officially designated that as our national motto, do you know what he said? Back in the 1950s, 52, I think. He said, this motto will express the sense that we have, that we are a unique nation, called by God for a unique purpose. It's time that we reclaim that we were not ashamed of it anymore, that we were not quiet about it anymore. Let's proclaim it boldly. I tell you what else. We need more Christians in business and in the C-suite. We need more Christian CEOs. Don't you agree? Tell you what, you see all of these corporate CEOs, what are they doing? They're hiring DEI agents while at the same time they're sending our jobs overseas and hollowing out this country, destroying our jobs, destroying our families. What would it be like if we had some Christian CEOs who would actually put America first, who would pay their American workers good wages that they could support a family on, raise a family? Wouldn't that be incredible? Wouldn't it be amazing if we had good Christian policy across the board, economic policy? You know, what's the Bible say? The Bible says you shall not charge your brother usury. We got credit card companies that are charging 40 and 50% interest on their credit cards. They are. That's outrageous. It's outrageous. You know what? If we had a little more Christian influence in our government, what we might say is, we're not going to let you do that anymore. We're not going to let you fleece America. We're not going to let you sell out America. We're not going to let you hurt your workers. We're not going to do that. Why? Because we are a Christian people, and we believe in what the Bible says. We believe that our faith has made this country, the greatest democracy in the history of the world. You know, here's what I just say. When our first forefathers came to this country, several hundred years ago now, they came and they took a covenant. That's what they called it. Our Puritan forebears, they took a covenant and they pledged themselves. They pledged to each other and to God that they would follow the ways of the Lord in this new land that they were building. And what is it that John Winthrop said? He said, if we will follow the ways of the Lord, we shall be a city on a hill. I'm just here to tell you, boy, the world still needs that city on a hill. And for that city on a hill to be what we were meant to be, the country needs you. It's time for us now. In this moment of trial and danger and chaos, it's time for us to stand up and to preach again the things that unite this country. The left wants to destroy it. The left wants to pull us apart. We need to return to the heritage of our fathers that unites this country. God, family, nation, the things we believe in together, the things that hold us together. It's time we stood for them. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. May the Lord bless you in all that you do. Thank you so much for having me.